So as you know, the condition for the formation of non-rectifying contact, that is, if we are working with a metal and N-type semiconductor, this N-type group semiconductor, okay, if we are going to form the contact, and if we want that contact should be non-rectifying in nature, the condition is here, the condition will be E phi m, the metal side work function should be less than E phi s. Okay. So just check the condition in case of, rectifying contact. The condition was just opposite. E phi m was greater than E phi s. But now the condition is just opposite. Okay. E phi m is less than E phi s. And if you are working with p-type semiconductor, it will be just again just opposite one. That is for p-type semiconductor non-rectifying contact condition will be E phi m greater than E phi s. So if we draw the energy band diagram, the diagram looks like this one. So first draw that individual diagram. This is the E0 vacuum level. This is the metal side. And you know metal side, we have a metal side Fermi level, and where the conduction band, valence band and Fermi level all are in overlap state. And this one is N-type semiconductor. N-type semiconductor, since we have the condition E phi m less than E phi s, that means E phi s would be larger. So it is something like this. The conduction band position is here. Let the Fermi level is here and the valence band is here. Okay. So if we draw the position, so this is the E phi m, the work function of metal, the distance between Fermi level and the vacuum, so the minimum amount of energy required to transfer the electron from Fermi level to vacuum, so that is the definition of work function. Similarly, for semiconductor side, E phi s is this one, from Fermi level to vacuum level E0. So this is the individual band diagram, okay. So now to achieve equilibrium, you know that both side Fermi level must be at the same. It's at equilibrium. So at equilibrium conditions, what will happen? The both side Fermi levels will be at the same position. That means we can draw one Fermi level, okay, throughout the system. So this one is metal side, EFM. This side is the semiconductor side, EFS. Okay, EFS. Okay. And let this one is the junction region. This is the metal side. The Fermi level of semiconductor, this is metal. And this is N-type semiconductor. Since the Fermi level of semiconductor is here, so we can see the conduction band position will be here. Just see the difference is this much. So the conduction band will be here and the valence band will be typically here. Sorry, EV. Okay. So this is the band diagram. Now, then you know that whenever we are going to connect two dissimilar material, that is basically heterojunction, so there is a concept of energy band bending. The energy band may bend either in upward direction or in downward direction. So you have to check that. In which direction the energy band will bend in our case. So let us see. Now check that semiconductor side, if you see that conduction band and Fermi level, the semiconductor side, it is at a lower energy level compared to metal side. Okay. So the metal side electrons are at higher energy level and the semiconductor side electrons are at lower energy level. It is just opposite. Just see in case of rectifying contact, it was just opposite. Because the condition was E phi m greater than E phi s, and in that case, the semiconductor side electrons are at higher energy level compared to metal side. That's why some of the electrons will be transferred from semiconductor to metal. But now in this case, In case of non-rectifying contact, see, the semiconductor side electrons are at lower energy level compared to metal side. Then what will happen? Since the semiconductor side is at lower energy level, so the electron will be transferred from metal towards the semiconductor side. The electrons will be transferred from metal towards semiconductor side because the metal side is at higher energy level compared to semiconductor side. So electrons will be transferred from metal towards semiconductor. Okay. So if the electrons are, some of the electrons are transferred here in the semiconductor side, so we can say near the junction, there is a little bit more electron concentration compared to the other part of the semiconductor because we got some extra electrons from the metal side. So near the junction, so the electron density is a little bit higher compared to other part of the semiconductor. That means in other words, we can say the junction region behaves like more N-type compared to other part of the semiconductor. Junction region behaves like more N-type compared to other part of the semiconductor. Then, which type of bending we may expect? So whenever the distance between conduction band and Fermi level increases, whenever the distance between conduction band and Fermi level increases, that indicates the junction became more p-type or less n-type. But in our case, it is just opposite. We are getting some extra electron from the metal side. Okay, so junction became more n-type. That means that the bending will be downward bending, not upward bending. The bending will be downward bending, not upward bending. If anyone having doubts, so please ask, why downward bending? Because we got some extra electron from metal side towards semiconductor side. So this region having some more extra electrons, which came from the metal side. So since the electron density is higher compared to other part of the semiconductor, so the junction, the semiconductor present near junction, it behaves like more n-type. So more n-type semiconductor presence, the distance between Fermi level and conduction band is less. See here, the distance is this one, whereas for other part is this one. Okay, so it's a downward bending will be there. Okay, so this is the energy band diagram at equilibrium condition. There is no such wall. So electron can easily move from semiconductor side to metal side, so there is no barrier. Whereas for rectifying contact, if you see, there was a barrier that is called the VBI. Similarly, if you want to transfer electron from metal towards semiconductor side, see there is a barrier, but it's very small. Very small barrier is there. Okay, the very small barrier is there. Okay, which is negligible. So that indicates so the carrier can easily travel in both sides, from metal to semiconductor side or semiconductor to metal side freely without facing any barrier. That's why this type of contact is called non-rectifying contact, because there is no such barrier, there is no such unwanted voltage drop, okay, barrier height. So this VI characteristic should be linear or ohmic in nature. So let us see if I apply the voltage forward and reverse biasing, if in that cases. Although in that cases, there will be no forward or reverse biasing, because forward and reverse biasing term is applicable only for the rectifying contact, means for diode characteristics. Okay, let us see. So under external bias. So if we apply external bias, so how this energy band diagram will change? Okay. So now we have a junction like this. Okay. So this is junction. Okay. Just a minute. Like this. So EC, EF, EV. Okay. So case one. So if negative voltage applied to semiconductor side. If we are applying a negative voltage at the semiconductor side with respect to metal, so this side is the metal, this side is in semiconductor. So if we apply a negative voltage here, this side with respect to metal, then what will happen? So from the previous concept, can you tell when we are adding negative potential this side at the semiconductor side, what will happen to this band? Energy of electron will increase. That means this whole band diagram will shift in the upward direction. That means I'm just drawing the same here. Okay, so it will be like this. Okay, it will shift in the upward direction. Okay. So in that case, again, see, there is no barrier. Okay, so electron can easily move from this side to this side because there is no barrier. Again, this side, a very little barrier exists, which is equals to this. Okay, so electron can move on the both sides. Now, case 2, if a positive voltage is applied in semiconductor with respect to metal. Okay, so if we apply a positive voltage in the semiconductor with respect to metal, then what we can expect, just see. So this is our band. This is metal. This is the N-type semiconductor, conduction band, valence band, Fermi level. So if we apply a positive voltage, so electrons are having negatively charged, we are adding positive voltage, so energy of electron will reduce. So the total band will bend in the downward direction. That means this band will be something like this. Okay. This total band will bend in the downward direction. So again, you will not face any barrier. Okay, so electron can easily cross both sides from metal side or semiconductor side. Okay, so there is no barrier present. Okay. So that's why this type of contact is called non-rectifying contact. Okay, because at no bias condition, when you are not applying any voltage, there is this one. Even when you are applying voltage, okay, if you apply negative voltage, if you apply positive voltage, we have studied both cases and just check. In all cases, we are not facing any barrier. The electron can freely move from metal to semiconductor side or from semiconductor to metal side without any barrier. So that's why it is called non-rectifying contact. Okay, that's why it is called non-rectifying contact. Any question from your side? Although non-rectifying contact, theoretically, it performs well. That means the carrier can move both sides without facing any barrier. But there are some practical limitations. Okay, the practical limitation means whatever the structure we are discussing, that means under this condition, okay, so that there will be no barrier, etc., etc. But in practical, real cases, okay, you know, in real cases, it is very difficult to achieve all those conditions. Okay, that means what I am saying. If you want to design a perfect non-rectifying contact, it is very difficult. That means that metal and N-type semiconductor, you have to select. Okay, so their work function will be in that cases. Okay, so it will satisfy the work function. And in real cases, it is very difficult to find out a pair of metal and semiconductor which will satisfy this type of criteria. Because suppose you have selected one metal, okay, and semiconductor, so that it will satisfy the condition and a perfect non-rectifying contact will be formed. But from fabrication point of view, theoretically so many things can be done, okay. But from fabrication point of view, that semiconductor and metal might not be compatible. That means you cannot deposit metal over any type of semiconductor. Okay, so there will be some compatibility. Okay, so of course it should be compatible. Okay, so that means over silicon you can deposit aluminum. That is okay, but you cannot deposit any type of material, any type of metal over silicon. It should be compatible in nature. That means there should be a mechanical bonding between two material. Otherwise, you cannot deposit the metal over semiconductor. Okay, so there should be some mechanical bonding, or technically it is called solid solubility. Okay, solid solubility. Okay, whether it is soluble to that semiconductor or not. Okay, so in real cases, only few metals are there where they create a good, somewhat okay, somewhat fine, good, satisfactory, non-rectifying contact. Okay, but it is very difficult to achieve. Suppose I think silver with N-type silicon, I think. Okay. So it may create a non-rectifying contact with that. Okay. So in real cases, it's very difficult to achieve. Okay. So for that cases, what we are doing, we are using a strategy where the contact will be non-rectifying contact. That means its VI characteristics will be ohmic in nature. Its VI characteristics will be ohmic in nature, but without following that strict requirement of that work function. That means we are saying phi m will be less than phi s, etc., all those things. So then it will be non-rectifying, etc. But we have a technique. By following that, we can easily create one contact whose IV characteristics is linear in nature. So let us see what is that. Okay, so a very unique type of contact, and almost in all semiconductor devices, we use that strategy, not this one. Okay, so this technique is theoretically present, and only few metals and semiconductors are there who create a good non-rectifying contact. Okay, and practical cases is very difficult to maintain that, what I am saying. Okay. So tunneling contact. Okay. So as per classical mechanics, you know, as a mechanics, there are two types of mechanics. As per classical mechanics, okay, so you cannot transfer the carrier, okay, without jumping this. Means without covering the potential well. This is called the potential barrier. Without covering the potential barrier, you cannot transfer the carrier. That means you have to jump like this. And jump means what? You have to increase the electron energy so that the energy of electron will be at least here, then the electron can move. Okay. So by applying external voltage, you have to increase the electron energy, then the electron can move from region 1 towards region 3. So this is as per classical mechanics. But later, when the quantum mechanics was discovered and it was formulated, you know that quantum mechanics here, the electron and holes are treated as a imaginary classical particle. As per quantum mechanics, the electrons and holes are treated as a particle. Okay, they are treated as a particle, not as a charge carrier. Okay, so you know that the wave particle duality is there. Okay, and how we can solve this quantum mechanics? By solving the Schrodinger wave equation. Okay, by solving the wave equation, we can go for quantum mechanics. Okay, we can find the state. Okay, so then, as per quantum mechanics, the quantum mechanics says that in the same cases, the quantum mechanics says that without crossing the barrier, it is possible to transfer the carrier from region 1 to region 3. So how it is possible? The electron can penetrate through this wall. Okay, like this. Okay. The electron can penetrate through this wall, that is through the wall of region 2, that means through this potential barrier, and can travel to region 3 from region 1. It is possible. Okay. So this is as per quantum mechanics. But there are some certain conditions. The condition is, the first thing is that you have to make sure the thickness of this one will be smaller enough. It will be very small, so then only this penetration is possible, and that phenomena is called tunneling. Okay, so that phenomena is called tunneling. So without crossing the barrier, as per the quantum mechanics, without crossing the barrier, it is possible to transfer the carrier from 1 to 3, okay, by directly penetrating through the wall of the potential barrier. So this phenomena is called tunneling. And you know there is a diode called tunnel diode. It works, it operates on the principle of tunneling. Okay. Now, so how this tunneling phenomena can be useful in our cases? Okay. So we already calculated the width of the depletion layer W, okay, for our PN junction in our previous classes. Now similarly, the same technique you can apply for metal semiconductor junction, but you know that metal semiconductor junctions are one-sided junction. That means the depletion layer is created only at one side, because metal side there will be no depletion layer. So whatever the depletion layer, it is at semiconductor side only. Okay. So the equation, okay, of depletion layer width, so that is, we can say W equal to Xn, because there is no Xp, only Xn is there. So it is 2 epsilon Vbi by E into Na to the power half. So we can derive this from that same equation, Xn and Xp. Okay, so this is the thickness of the depletion layer we are getting, okay, for a metal semiconductor junction, metal semiconductor rectifying junction, because in ohmic contacts we are not getting any such type of depletion layer. Okay, so for rectifying contact. Okay. Now check, when the value of Nd is very high, when we are using a heavy doping, so we have a metal, we have a n-type semiconductor. Okay, so one side is metal, we have a junction, one side is metal, and another one side is heavily doped n-type semiconductor, N plus. So when the doping concentration N is high, so what about depletion layer? Means the width of depletion layer. How much? Whether it will increase or decrease? So the width of depletion layer will reduce when you are increasing the value of Nd. Okay, when you are increasing the value of Nd, the width of the depletion layer reduces. Okay. Then what will happen if you draw the band diagram? Okay. So then what will happen? It's the metal side. This is N plus semiconductor. And here we have a depletion layer. And now we have a very narrow depletion layer, very thin depletion layer, narrow depletion layer. Okay, this much. W, depletion layer. Okay. So can you tell me this band, this diagram related to which type of contact? Anyone? This energy band diagram related to which type of contact? No voice is coming from.
Contact, okay.
The whole topic is metal and N type of semiconductor. Which type of contact? Rectifying contact, good. So it is a rectifying contact. So what is tunneling contact is? Tunneling contact is nothing but a rectifying contact. Very interesting thing. So tunneling contact is a special type of rectifying contact with heavy doping. So what we are doing, the N-type semiconductor we are using N++ doping, very high doping we are using. So as a result, the width of depletion layer became very smaller, and you know, rectifying contact there should be barrier. And yes, it is there. See, there is a barrier. EVBI, E5B0, the barrier is there. But it is not a problem, because now instead of crossing the barrier, the electron will tunnel through this path. Okay, so this is the tunneling path. So I think it is clear. Okay, so now the electron will tunnel through this path without facing any barrier. Okay, barrier exists, but it will not create any problem, because we are not interested in barrier, because there is a tunneling path. The electron can easily tunnel from metal towards semiconductor, or the semiconductor to metal side. Okay, and since we are not facing any barrier in the tunneling path, so its IV characteristics follows Ohm's law. It's almost linear in nature without any barrier. Okay, so if I plot the VI characteristics, okay, voltage current characteristics of this type of contact is something like this, almost straight line. Okay, so this type of contact is also known as ohmic contact. Now see one interesting thing, ohmic contact we might get from this non-rectifying, okay, and also from tunneling. Okay. In both cases you will get this linear IV characteristics, but for non-rectifying we have a strict requirement of selection of semiconductor and metal. Only few semiconductor and metals are there who can create that non-rectifying contact, but they might not be compatible with the MOS technology. But we can adopt this strategy. We can easily go for a rectifying contact with heavily doped semiconductor. That means there will be a tunneling path, and the IV characteristics will be linear in nature. Okay, and basically there will be no voltage drop. So in MOS device, again go back to our topic. Okay, in MOS device, if you see the source and drain region, they are N+. Okay, and this is a metal wire, and the source and drain region is N+. Okay, so that means this metal and N+ semiconductor, it forms a tunnel junction. Okay, it's a tunneling contact, this one. So it is not non-rectifying, it is a rectifying contact, but it's a special type of rectifying contact where tunneling takes place and the VI characteristics is linear. Okay, so tunneling contact is a special type of rectifying contact with heavily doped semiconductor. Okay, so that's why in semiconductor device, so whenever you are going to put the contact here, so there is a heavily doped semiconductor region. So not only MOSFET, so you can check any other semiconductor device, the contact region is basically heavily doped semiconductor, so that it will show the linear IV characteristic. There should not be any potential barrier. Okay, so we can handle this problem, the problem of non-rectifying contact. We want this, but it's very difficult to achieve. So we can achieve this by using this tunneling contact.